is happening in the RV industry, what trends are emerging, and what sort of concerns out there.
Behind every RV dealership in America, there's one row they hope you never notice. Rows of brand new motorhomes, gleaming, polished, untouched, just sitting there week after week. They're not the bargains you think. They're the anchors, sinking dealer profits, and the silent clue that tells you which rigs to avoid or negotiate hard. So which RVs can't anyone move? Why are they choking dealer lots? And which final entry flips from don't buy to buy smart? Stick around, because walking past these rigs could cost you thousands. Gulfstream BT Cruiser. Step into the conversation about compact motorhomes, and you will inevitably encounter the Gulfstream BT Cruiser, a model that often sparks mixed reactions on dealer lots. Marketed as a so-called Class B plus recreational vehicle, it is positioned somewhere between a true van conversion and a full Class C motorhome. That middle ground identity has left many shoppers scratching their heads, wondering if it is too small for families, yet too bulky for solo adventurers who want the nimble freedom of a van. Buyers looking for serious boondocking capability often bypass it, while those seeking maximum space turn toward larger rigs. Despite Gulfstream's long history in the industry, the BT Cruiser sometimes sits unsold, carrying price tags that feel ambitious when compared to more popular competitors. From this uncertain niche, we turn the page to a different kind of rig, one that reveals another surprising reason why dealers are struggling. Thor Motorcoach Windsport. In the crowded arena of mid-tier Class A recreational vehicles, the Thor Motorcoach Windsport often finds itself stranded between two worlds. It is not budget-friendly enough to draw in first-time buyers, yet it is not luxurious enough to satisfy travelers chasing top-tier indulgence. This leaves it in a no-man's land, where potential owners frequently compare its price tag to models offering either deeper discounts or more prestige features. Shoppers see a coach that promises versatility, but reality reveals dated interior choices, handling that can feel heavy on the highway, and fuel costs that discourage long road adventures. Dealers are burdened with extended inventory times as customers turn to alternatives that either save them thousands or give them more status. The Windsport's challenge highlights the danger of living in the middle. As we roll forward, the next entry proves that being too ordinary can be just as risky. Winnebago Fuse. Among discontinued motorhomes, the Winnebago Fuse stands out as a cautionary tale of timing and execution. Built on the Ford Transit diesel chassis, it promised efficiency, European styling, and a nimble driving experience compared to bulky Class C competitors. Yet despite those selling points, the Fuse never gained the traction Winnebago hoped for. Buyers found the interior layouts narrow, the storage limited, and the price uncomfortably close to larger coaches that offered more space. Introduced in the year 2016 and quietly ended a few years later, units still linger on dealer lots, reminding everyone that innovation without strong demand can become an expensive anchor. The Fuse's legacy is that even trusted brands can misjudge the sweet spot of consumer desire. Moving from this story of an early exit, we arrive at the next model, which proves that sometimes even long-established names can struggle to win over modern travelers. Holiday Rambler Admiral. When shoppers stroll through a dealership looking for an entry-level Class A motorhome, the Holiday Rambler Admiral frequently catches their eye at first glance, but quickly loses appeal under closer inspection. The Admiral name carries heritage, yet the modern versions struggle with dated interiors, modest horsepower ratings, and handling that feels less stable on long interstates. Priced higher than many expect for what it delivers, the Admiral often competes against coaches offering more updated technology, fresher styling, or simply better value for the same monthly payment. First introduced decades ago, it once symbolized prestige, but in the year 2025, it risks being remembered more for unsold inventory than for adventure. Dealers quietly push discounts just to move them along, hoping buyers will overlook shortcomings. As we shift gears from this classic brand losing its shine, the following model demonstrates how even bold experiments can backfire spectacularly. If you've made it this far, you're clearly into the details most people overlook. Hit that subscribe button to let me know you're watching closely, and drop a comment with the RV you think deserves this list. Jayco Redhawk Special Edition. Walk across a row of Class C recreational vehicles, and the Jayco Redhawk Special Edition will appear to promise affordability. Yet a deeper look often leaves shoppers underwhelmed. Built on a tried and tested chassis with Ford power, the Redhawk Special Edition aims to capture families who want a dependable rig without breaking the bank. However, the reality is that its simplified construction, limited storage, and modest trim levels make it feel bare, compared to rivals offering richer interiors at similar monthly payments. Buyers who walk inside quickly notice fewer conveniences, thin cabinetry, and layouts that feel cramped for extended trips. Although the Jayco brand has earned loyalty since the 1960s, this particular model has struggled to live up to the family-friendly reputation. Dealers frequently cut prices to entice hesitant shoppers. Leaving behind this entry-level compromise, the next motorhome highlights how oversupply can drag down even stronger contenders. Forest River Sunseeker. Glancing through dealership lots, many travelers expect the Forest River Sunseeker to stand tall as a reliable Class C motorhome. Yet it often lingers far longer than anticipated. The Sunseeker line boasts dozens of floor plans, but that very abundance has become a weakness, creating confusion and diluting its identity. Shoppers confronted with too many choices often shift to competitors that present a clearer message of value. Interiors can feel inconsistent depending on the trim, and long-term owners sometimes report fit and finish issues that do not match the price point. With monthly payments climbing in the current market, buyers hesitate when the Sunseeker fails to deliver distinctive advantages over rivals like the Winnebago Mini Winnie. Dealers attempt to compensate with incentives, but even heavy markdowns cannot disguise the oversupply. As we continue beyond this versatile yet overextended model, the next entry demonstrates how plain styling can also dampen enthusiasm. Thor Chateau. On paper, the Thor Chateau seems like a dependable choice for families seeking an accessible Class C recreational vehicle, but reality has painted a different picture on showroom floors. The Chateau name has been around for decades, yet modern versions struggle to stand apart in an increasingly crowded segment. Many buyers step inside and encounter interiors that feel dated, with upholstery and cabinetry that echo designs from the early 2000s rather than the year 2025. Power comes from well-known gasoline engines, but handling can feel clumsy compared to newer competitors built on refined chassis platforms. Pricing sits awkwardly between budget and premium, leaving buyers questioning whether they are truly receiving value for the cost. Dealers often mark these units down heavily, sometimes after more than 180 days on the lot. Transitioning from this example of ordinary design, the following model shows how brand overlap complicates sales. Entegra Odyssey. Walk through a dealership showcasing Class C motorhomes, and you may notice the Entegra Odyssey carrying a premium badge, but struggling to justify its higher price point. The Odyssey was designed to present itself as a step above mainstream Jayco offerings, yet many shoppers quickly realize that the differences are subtle, leaving them unwilling to pay thousands more for marginal upgrades. Interiors often resemble those found in Jayco Redhawk models, with only slight enhancements in trim or finishes. Buyers expecting luxury at this level find themselves disappointed, particularly when monthly payments climb above what competitors ask for comparable floor plans. Although Entegra has cultivated a reputation for quality since joining the Jayco family, the Odyssey underscores how brand overlap can confuse customers rather than inspire loyalty. As we steer away from this case of blurred identity and questionable value, the next motorhome demonstrates how outdated reputations can weigh heavily on sales. Coachmen Leprechaun. In the long line of mid-range Class C recreational vehicles, the Coachmen Leprechaun is one that often appears attractive at first glance, yet struggles to maintain interest when buyers begin comparing details. The Leprechaun badge dates back to the 1970s, giving it historic recognition, but heritage alone does not guarantee sales in the year 2025. Many floor plans feel cramped for modern families, storage space is limited, and fuel economy lags behind smaller competitors. Buyers walking through a dealership frequently compare the Leprechaun's asking price to alternatives such as the Thor Chateau or the Forest River Sunseeker and question why they should pay a premium. Dealers find themselves discounting heavily after 150 days or more on the lot, hoping to spark interest that rarely comes. As we leave behind this example of fading middle market appeal, the next model illustrates how entry-level Class A coaches miss expectations. Forest River Georgetown 3 Series. Among the lineup of entry-level Class A recreational vehicles, the Forest River Georgetown 3 Series frequently ends up overlooked and unsold. The Georgetown name has history stretching back to the 1990s, but the 3 Series trim often feels like a compromise that satisfies neither budget-minded travelers nor luxury seekers. Interiors showcase simplified materials that lack the refinement buyers expect at this price, while handling and ride comfort leave much to be desired on long stretches of highway. Families evaluating monthly payments often notice that slightly higher installments secure them more upscale competitors, while slightly lower payments provide more practical practical Class C options. This middle position leaves the 3 Series languishing in showrooms, sometimes for over 200 days, tying up dealer financing. From this example of a coach stranded between categories, we move forward to another model where bold ideas failed to capture the loyalty of adventurous buyers. Thor Motorcoach Outlaw. Step into the world of specialty motorhomes, and the Thor Motorcoach Outlaw immediately stands out with its toy hauler design, but that uniqueness is also its greatest weakness. Marketed as a Class A or Class C recreational vehicle with a built-in garage for motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles, or other gear, the Outlaw appeals to a very narrow slice of buyers. For families simply wanting comfort on the open road, the garage space feels like wasted square footage, and for adventure enthusiasts, the high sticker price discourages purchase. Interiors are often Spartan to make room for the garage, and the ride quality suffers under the added weight. Dealers report that these models sit for well beyond 180 days, consuming costly floor plan financing. The Outlaw demonstrates that going too niche can backfire. Moving away from this tale of limited appeal, the next entry highlights how legacy branding alone cannot guarantee success. Winnebago Adventurer. Among long-standing names in the motorhome world, the Winnebago Adventurer once represented aspiration and comfort. Yet in the year 2025, it has lost much of its shine. Buyers today walk into dealerships expecting sleek technology, modern interiors, and fuel-efficient drivetrains, but the Adventurer continues to showcase layouts that feel rooted in the early 2000s. While it does deliver dependable performance from a gasoline-powered chassis, its bulky handling and dated decor cause hesitation, especially when monthly payments rival more luxurious diesel pushers. The Adventurer's heritage dates back decades, but familiarity cannot outweigh rising competition that blends innovation with affordability. Dealers frequently offer large incentives after units sit for over 200 days, hoping to reduce floor plan losses. From this example of a veteran model fighting to remain relevant, we now steer toward another coach whose name recognition cannot rescue it from an identity crisis on crowded lots. Fleetwood Flare. Walk through any dealership filled with gasoline-powered Class A recreational vehicles, and the Fleetwood Flare will often be spotted gathering dust rather than signatures on sales contracts. The Flare is pitched as an affordable entry into the Class A lifestyle, yet many buyers quickly discover its limitations. Interiors feel reminiscent of the late 1990s, with modest materials and layouts that do not inspire excitement. Driving dynamics can be heavy and unwieldy on long interstates, while fuel efficiency remains disappointing compared to smaller rigs. Compounding these concerns, pricing has crept upward, so monthly payments now overlap with better-equipped competitors, leaving the Flare stranded in a forgettable middle ground. Dealers are forced to slash prices after more than 170 days of inventory age, hoping to spark interest that rarely arrives. Leaving behind this once proud nameplate, the next chapter reveals how upscale branding on a compact chassis can struggle to resonate. Coachmen Beyond. Step into the compact van-based recreational vehicle segment, and the Coachmen Beyond immediately illustrates the challenges of balancing premium pricing with practical expectations. Built on the Ford Transit chassis, the Beyond offers refined interiors, sleek cabinetry, and upscale finishes intended to capture well-heeled travelers seeking Class B comfort. However, its cost often exceeds $150,000, pushing potential buyers to instead consider larger Class C coaches that deliver more living space for similar monthly payments. The Beyond storage limitations and tighter floor plans further weaken its case for families or long-distance adventurers who require versatility. Dealers frequently find these units sitting for over 180 days, consuming interest charges, while shoppers choose less expensive camper vans. The Coachmen Beyond proves that elegance alone cannot guarantee movement off the lot. Turning from this tale of premium pricing pitfalls, we now examine another model where positioning between classes created confusion. Jayco Alante. In the world of entry-level Class A recreational vehicles, the Jayco Alante often struggles to convince buyers that it delivers enough value for its asking price. The Alante name was introduced in the year 2015 as a way to draw newcomers into the larger motorhome lifestyle, yet in practice it frequently falls short of expectations. Interiors lean toward simplicity, with materials that feel plain compared to similarly priced competitors, and highway handling can feel less stable on long journeys. Many families considering an Alante ultimately realize that slightly larger monthly payments secure them a Winnebago Adventurer or even a used diesel pusher, offering more comfort. Dealers report that Alante units can remain unsold for well over 160 days, piling up financing costs. The Jayco Alante shows how an entry-level Class A can miss its mark. From this tale of underwhelming design, we now pivot toward a hybrid experiment. You've seen how easily the wrong RV can drain your wallet, and the right one can change everything. Subscribe right now so you never miss another breakdown like this. Future lists might reveal the exact deal you've been waiting for, and you don't want silence instead. Forest River Rockwood Roo. Among hybrid travel trailers, the Forest River Rockwood Roo stands as a creative concept that often fails to deliver on buyer expectations. The Roo combines hard-sided walls with canvas pop-out sleeping sections, aiming to offer both lightweight towing and expanded space at the campsite. However, potential owners quickly notice drawbacks. The canvas ends are prone to temperature swings, noise, and moisture, leaving families uneasy about durability and long-term comfort. While the idea promises flexibility, many shoppers prefer fully enclosed travel trailers that feel more secure against weather and wildlife. Pricing has crept close to larger conventional trailers, making the Roo seem less of a bargain than originally intended. Dealers frequently hold inventory for more than 170 days, forced to cut margins deeply. The Rockwood Roo demonstrates how half measures rarely satisfy. Moving beyond this hybrid compromise, the next model reveals how an unusual classification confused the marketplace. Thor Motorcoach Axis. Unlike most Class A recreational vehicles, the Thor Motorcoach Axis is marketed as a so-called recreational utility vehicle, a category meant to blend the drivability of a van with the space of a coach. While the idea sounds innovative, the execution leaves many buyers unsatisfied. The Axis is smaller than traditional Class A models, yet it carries a price tag that frequently matches or exceeds more spacious alternatives. Interiors are functional, but lack the upscale finishes travelers expect when monthly payments approach premium levels. Handling is more nimble than larger rigs, though the ride can feel unsettled on long highways, undermining confidence for extended road trips. With its identity trapped between a Class C and a full Class A, the Axis sits awkwardly on dealer lots for over 180 days. Leaving behind this confused experiment, the countdown now approaches the final entry, a compact coach that misses its audience entirely. Winnebago Solis Pocket. At the very top of the list sits the Winnebago Solis Pocket, a compact Class B motorhome that attempts to serve as an entry-level van for adventurous travelers, but often ends up overlooked. Built on the Ram Pro Master chassis, the Solis Pocket offers simple sleeping arrangements, a small galley, and a basic portable toilet setup. While the design appeals to minimalists, many shoppers feel it lacks the amenities required for long journeys, such as a dedicated bathroom, ample storage, and comfortable seating for extended travel. The price, which often exceeds $90,000, causes hesitation when larger Class C motorhomes can be purchased for a similar monthly payment. Dealers report these units sitting unsold for more than 160 days, as buyers gravitate toward more versatile options. Closing the countdown with this modest van, we see how aiming too small can leave a model stranded in a demanding marketplace. You've just seen the 18 RVs dealers are desperate to move, and now you know where the hidden opportunities really are. If you found value here, subscribe and join this community, because the next countdown could hold the deal that saves you thousands. Don't miss it. Your smartest adventure starts here.